Want to master English? Subscribe now for expert advice and helpful exercises to boost your speaking skills. Let's dive in. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Sarah. She lived in a busy city, always running from one thing to another, trying to keep up with the fast pace of life. Every day felt like a race, and Sarah felt like she was always falling behind. She wanted to do well in her career, stay connected with her friends, and still have time for herself. But everything seemed so overwhelming. One evening, as she walked home feeling exhausted and defeated, she bumped into her old neighbor, Mr.
Dan.
He was a quiet,
Wise man.
someone who always seemed to have a calm energy around him. Sarah smiled weakly at him, and he noticed the stress in her eyes. "How are you doing, Sarah?" Mr. Tan asked gently. Sarah sighed and said, "I feel like I'm running on empty. There's just too much to do. And no matter how hard I try, I'm never enough. Everyone expects so much from me, my job, my friends, even social media, and I don't know how to keep up anymore." Mr.
Dan nodded thoughtfully.
He sat down on a bench nearby and patted the space next to him.
Come.
"Sit with me for a while. Let me tell you something." Sarah sat down, feeling a little curious. Mr. Tan looked at her and spoke slowly, as if he was choosing his words carefully. "You know, in life, there's always going to be noise. There will always be expectations, distractions, and people pulling you in different directions. But here's the thing. You don't need to try to be everything to everyone. You just need to be true to yourself. People get lost because they think they have to chase after every opportunity or match what others are doing. But you don't have to. Take a step back. Focus on what really matters to you, your own growth, your own happiness, your own peace. Don't let the rush of society make you forget who you truly are." Sarah looked at him, unsure. "But how do I do that? Feels like the world won't stop moving. And I can't just stop." Mr.
Dan smiled softly.
You don't need to stop, but you can choose where to put your energy. Set small goals that matter to you. Focus on one thing at a time. It's okay to say no. It's okay to take a break. Most importantly, it's okay to not have everything figured out right now. Life isn't a race. It's a journey. You'll get there. As long as you stay true to yourself and trust that you have the strength to handle whatever comes your way. Sarah felt a weight lift off her shoulders. For the first time in a long while, she realized that it wasn't about doing it all, it was about doing what mattered. In her own way. At her own pace. "Thank you, Mr.
Dan.
She said softly. "I think I've been trying too hard to keep up with everyone else. I just need to take it one step at a time." "Exactly, Mr. Tan replied with a smile. "Remember, you already have everything you need inside you. Just trust yourself." and the rest will follow. From that day on, Sarah started to embrace her own pace. She stopped comparing herself to others and focused on what truly mattered to her. And with every small step, she felt stronger, more confident, and more at peace. Advice: don't compare yourself to others. Society often makes us feel like we need to keep up. But remember, everyone's path is different. Focus on your own journey. Set small, realistic goals. Trying to do everything at once can overwhelm you. Break it down and focus on one thing at a time. It's okay to take breaks. You don't have to be working all the time. Rest and self-care are important too. Trust yourself. You have the strength to handle challenges. Believe in your abilities, and you'll find your way. Part 2. A few weeks passed, and Sarah found herself adjusting to a new way of living. She still had busy days, but now, instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything on her plate, she started to prioritize her time. Her job was still demanding, but she learned to say no when she needed to. She no longer felt like she had to attend every event, answer every message, or meet everyone's expectations. One afternoon, while Sarah was taking a walk in the park, she ran into Mr. Tan again. He was sitting on the same bench, reading a small book with his glasses perched on his nose. As soon as he saw Sarah, he smiled warmly. "How have you been, Sarah?" he asked, his voice full of kindness. Sarah smiled back, feeling lighter than she had in weeks. "I've been better. Actually, I've been taking it one day at a time. Like you said, I've started setting boundaries, and I'm not so worried about pleasing everyone anymore. Feels good, Mr.
Tan nodded.
His eyes twinkling. "I'm glad to hear that. It's amazing what happens when we stop trying to be everything for everyone and focus on what truly matters." Sarah sat down beside him on the bench, her eyes bright with a new sense of understanding. "But sometimes, I still feel unsure. What if I'm making mistakes by not doing everything people expect of me? What if I'm letting them down, Mr. Tan looked at her thoughtfully and then placed his book down. "Sarah, life isn't about being perfect. It's about growth. Every day, you learn a little more about who you are, what you need, and what you value. There's no right or wrong way to live. It's all about finding your own path." He paused and then continued. "The truth is, no matter how hard we try, we can't control everything. And sometimes, you have to disappoint people in order to protect your peace and your well-being. The people who truly care about you will understand. And the ones who don't, well, they're not the ones who should matter to you in the long run." Sarah listened carefully, the weight of his words sinking in. "So, it's okay to let go of things and people that don't serve me anymore?" "Exactly, Mr. Tan replied with a soft smile. "Letting go isn't easy, but it's often necessary for growth. Don't hold on to things out of guilt or fear. You deserve to surround yourself with what lifts you up, not what drags you down. Sarah felt a deep sense of relief as she took in Mr. Tan's advice. It was okay to let go. It was okay to make choices that honored her own peace. The pressure to meet everyone's expectations wasn't her burden to carry. Over time, Sarah learned to trust herself more and more. She found joy in the small moments. A quiet morning with a good book. A walk in the park. Meaningful conversations with friends who respected her boundaries. She still worked hard and had big dreams, but she no longer felt like she had to sacrifice her own happiness to achieve them. Advice: don't be afraid to let go. Sometimes, holding on to things or people that don't bring value to your life only weighs you down. Let go of what no longer serves you, and make space for what brings you peace. It's okay to disappoint others. You don't have to meet everyone's expectations. The people who truly care for you will respect your choices and boundaries. Life is about growth, not perfection. There's no such thing as a perfect life or a perfect person. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. Trust your own path. The journey you're on is yours alone. Don't compare it to others. Move at your own pace, and be proud of how far you've come. Sarah's journey wasn't about having it all figured out right away. It was about taking small steps toward living in a way that felt true to herself. And in that journey, she found peace, confidence, and the strength to keep going, one day at a time. Part 3. Months passed, and Sarah continued her journey of growth. Her life was far from perfect, but it was hers, and that was enough. The days no longer felt like a frantic race. She woke up each morning with a sense of purpose, a calm confidence that had started to grow from within her. She was no longer just trying to survive the demands of her career, her social life, or society's expectations. She was learning to thrive in her own way. One morning, as Sarah sat at her favorite coffee shop, sipping her tea and reading a book, she received a message from an old colleague, Lisa. They hadn't spoken in months, but Lisa had always been one of those friends who pushed her to do more, achieve more, be more. Sarah hesitated for a moment, wondering if the message would be another request for her to join a new project or take on extra work. But when she opened it, she saw something unexpected. "Sarah, I need your advice. I've been feeling so overwhelmed lately. It's like I'm always busy, but I'm never happy. Everyone expects me to keep pushing harder, but I'm starting to feel burnt out. How do you do it? How do you keep everything together without losing yourself?" ***. Sarah put down her book and thought for a moment. She remembered all the struggles she had faced, all the times she had felt like she was drowning in the pressure of it all. She thought of Mr. Tan's words, the lessons she had learned along the way. She typed her reply. "Hey Lisa, I totally get what you're feeling. I used to be there, too. The truth is, there's no secret formula to keeping everything together. But I've learned that it's okay to not do everything. It's okay to say no. To prioritize the things that truly matter to you. I used to worry so much about what people expected of me. But I've realized that it's not about pleasing everyone. It's about being kind to yourself and knowing your limits. You're allowed to take breaks, to rest, and to focus on what really brings you joy. It's okay to take things one step at a time. Asterisk, asterisk. She paused before hitting send, thinking carefully about how best to reassure Lisa. Then she added, and remember, you're not alone in this. There are people who care about you and want the best for you. Don't be afraid to ask for help or take a step back when you need to. Your worth isn't measured by how much you do, but by who you are. You are enough, just as you are. Asterisk, asterisk. Sarah pressed send and sat back, feeling a sense of peace. She realized that even though she wasn't perfect, the journey she had taken had made her more capable of supporting others. The lessons she had learned weren't just for her, they were for everyone she encountered, especially those who needed a little encouragement to stop running and start living. That evening, Lisa called her. Her voice sounded different, lighter, almost relieved. "Thank you, Sarah," Lisa said. "I needed to hear that. I think I've been trying to do everything because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. But I'm realizing now that I can't keep going like this. I need to make some changes." Sarah smiled. "I'm so glad you reached out. You don't have to do it all, Lisa. You just need to do what's right for you." The conversation ended with a sense of understanding and mutual respect. Sarah realized that by embracing her own journey, she had become someone who could offer guidance to others. Her path wasn't just about finding peace for herself. It was about being a reminder to those around her that they, too, could find strength and balance in the chaos of life. Advice: it's okay to ask for help. No one has to do everything alone. Reach out to others when you need support. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. You don't have to please everyone. It's easy to get caught up in the expectations of others, but your well-being matters most. Set boundaries and prioritize what truly brings you joy. Rest is essential. Don't feel guilty for taking breaks. Resting isn't a sign of laziness. It's a way to recharge and stay strong for the long haul. Your worth isn't tied to your achievements. You don't have to constantly prove yourself. You are valuable just by being who you are, not by how much you do. Sarah's story showed her that true strength doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being true to yourself, learning to trust your own instincts, and knowing when to slow down. She had found peace not by achieving everything, but by accepting that she was enough as she was. And as she shared that message with others, she helped them find their own strength too. Part 4. The months rolled by, and Sarah continued to grow in ways she had never imagined. She had found a new sense of balance in her life, one that allowed her to focus on the things that mattered most: her health, her passions, and her relationships. But as life often does, it threw her a curveball that tested everything she had learned. One day, Sarah received a phone call from her boss. There had been some changes at work, and they needed her to take on a bigger role. It would require extra hours, more responsibility, and a commitment she wasn't sure she was ready for. She knew the opportunity could help her career, but it also felt like a huge step back into the old, stressful routine she had worked so hard to escape. Sarah sat down at her kitchen table, the phone still in her hand. She thought about how far she had come, about the peace she had found by setting boundaries and staying true to herself. Was it worth risking all of that for a promotion? She closed her eyes for a moment, seeking clarity. And then the answer came to her, as clear as day. She called her boss back. "Thank you for the offer," she said with a calm, confident voice. But after giving it some thought, "I've realized that this isn't the right time for me to take on this extra responsibility. I've worked hard to find a balance in my life, and I want to honor that. I hope you understand." The relief that washed over her after that phone call was overwhelming. She had made a choice that felt true to who she was, rather than what others expected of her. And it was empowering. A few days later, Sarah received a text from Lisa. She had been quiet for a while, and Sarah wondered how she was doing. "Sarah, I just wanted to thank you again for your advice. After our conversation, I decided to step back from some of the projects I was drowning in. I'm not perfect, but I'm learning to say no and put myself first. I've been feeling so much better, more energy, more peace. It's not easy, but it feels right." Asterisk, asterisk. Sarah smiled at the message, proud of her friend for taking that step. She knew how hard it could be to break old habits. But Lisa was learning, just like Sarah had, that it was okay to prioritize her own well-being. A week later, Sarah bumped into Mr. Tan again, this time at the local farmer's market. He was standing by a stall, picking out fresh vegetables. And when he saw Sarah, his face lit up. "Ah, there you are, Sarah," he said with a warm smile. "How have you been?" Sarah grinned, feeling a sense of pride in herself. "I've been good, Mr.
Tan.
Actually, better than good. I made a decision recently, something I never would have done before. I turned down a big promotion at work. It was a scary decision, but I realized that chasing more wasn't what I needed. I needed peace." Mr. Tan nodded with understanding. "That's a powerful choice, Sarah. Sometimes we think success is about climbing higher, achieving more, doing everything. But true success is about knowing what you need and being able to walk away from what doesn't serve you. You made a wise decision." Sarah felt a wave of gratitude toward him. "I never would have been able to make that choice without everything you taught me. About finding balance, about trusting myself, Mr.
Tan chuckled. "No,
Sarah, you already had the strength within you. I just reminded you of it. You had to come to that realization on your own." Sarah smiled, feeling a deep sense of peace. She had come a long way, and every decision she made now was guided by the belief that her worth wasn't tied to how much she did or how much she achieved. It was about living in a way that honored her needs and her peace. Advice: know your limits. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity, no matter how tempting it might seem. Learn to recognize when something doesn't align with your values or your well-being, and give yourself permission to say no. True success is personal. Success isn't about how much you accomplish or how far you climb. It's about living a life that feels authentic to you and brings you peace. Trust your inner strength. You already have everything you need inside you. Trust your instincts, and you'll make the choices that are best for you. Sometimes less is more. It's easy to think that we need more to be happy or successful, but often, simplifying your life and focusing on what truly matters can bring more joy and fulfillment than chasing after everything. Sarah had learned that true strength wasn't about pushing harder or achieving more. It was about knowing when to pause, reflect, and choose what was best for her. In doing so, she had found peace, joy, and the courage to live life on her own terms. And now, she was sharing that strength with others, just as she had been guided by the wisdom of those who had come before her. Part 5. As the years passed, Sarah's life took on a new rhythm, one that was full of purpose and peace. She had learned to say no without guilt, to embrace stillness without feeling lazy, and to trust that her worth wasn't defined by how much she achieved. She found joy in the small things: a quiet evening at home, a walk in the park, a meaningful conversation with a friend. And with each passing day, she became more comfortable with who she was and more confident in her decisions. One sunny afternoon, as Sarah was working from home, she received a message from an old friend, Mark, whom she hadn't heard from in a while. They had gone to college together, but they'd lost touch as life had taken them in different directions. His message was short but thoughtful. Sarah, I've been thinking about you a lot lately. I remember how you always had this calm energy, even when things around us were chaotic. I'm not sure where you found it, but I need some advice. I'm feeling stuck, burned out from work, overwhelmed by life, and unsure of what to do next. How did you find your peace? ****. Sarah paused for a moment, reflecting on how far she had come and how much she had learned. She knew the pain of feeling lost in the hustle, but she also knew the freedom that came from choosing peace over pressure. With a deep breath, she began typing her reply. Hey Mark, I'm so glad you reached out. Honestly, it wasn't easy getting to a place of peace. For a long time, I thought I had to keep pushing, keep achieving, keep doing more. But over time, I realized that doing more doesn't always mean you're moving forward. I had to stop and ask myself what really mattered to me, what made me feel whole, what brought me joy. and what I was willing to say no to in order to protect that. Asterisk asterisk. She paused and thought carefully before adding. The first step was learning to set boundaries. It wasn't about shutting people out, but about protecting my energy so I could be the best version of myself. The second step was realizing that rest wasn't a luxury. It was necessary for my well-being. And the third was trusting that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. You don't have to have all the answers right now. And that's okay. Asterisk asterisk. Sarah paused for a moment, letting the words sink in. She wasn't trying to offer a quick fix. There were no easy answers, no magic solutions. But she knew from experience that it was okay to start small, to give yourself permission to breathe, to make decisions that align with your true self. She added, most importantly, I've learned to let go of the pressure to be everything to everyone. I can't do it all, and neither can you. But that's not a failure. It's part of being human. If you start by focusing on what brings you joy and peace, the rest will follow. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Asterisk asterisk. She hit send and sat back, feeling a sense of calm. She had shared the truth she had learned on her own journey, hoping it would resonate with Mark, just as Mr. Tan's wisdom had resonated with her years ago. A few hours later, Mark replied, Sarah, thank you so much for this. Your words really hit home. I've been so focused on what others expect of me and what I think I should be doing that I forgot to ask myself what I want to be doing. I'm going to take a step back and start setting some boundaries. I don't have all the answers, but I'm going to trust that I can figure it out one step at a time. Asterisk asterisk. Sarah smiled as she read his message. It wasn't about having all the answers, it was about being brave enough to take the first step, no matter how small. She knew that Mark was on his own path now, just as she had been. And it felt good to know that her journey had inspired someone else to find their own strength. Advice: it's okay to not have all the answers. You don't need to have everything figured out right away. Life is a journey, and sometimes the best thing you can do is take it one step at a time. Set boundaries to protect your energy. Saying no is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. Protect what matters most to you. Rest is essential for growth. Don't feel guilty for taking breaks. Rest allows you to recharge and show up as your best self. Focus on what brings you joy and peace. Life doesn't have to be perfect, but it can be meaningful if you focus on what truly matters to you. Let go of the pressure to meet everyone's expectations. Sarah's journey had taught her that true strength isn't about how much you achieve, but about how well you know yourself and how deeply you can honor your own needs. She had learned to trust that life didn't have to be a constant race. It was a series of small steps toward peace, happiness, and growth. And in sharing that wisdom with others, she found that the more she embraced her own strength, the more she could help others discover theirs. Part 6. Sarah's life had become a beautiful blend of purpose and peace. She no longer lived in the chaos of constant hustle, nor did she feel the pressure to always be doing more. Instead, she embraced the quiet, reflective moments. But just when she thought she had everything under control, life had one more challenge in store for her. One evening, while Sarah was enjoying a rare moment of solitude, sipping tea and reading her favorite book, she received an unexpected call from her sister, Mia. They hadn't talked much lately, as Mia had been busy with her own family and work. But her voice on the other end sounded unusually tense. "Sarah, I need to talk to you," Mia said, her voice shaky. "I'm feeling lost. I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore." Sarah sat up straight, concern filling her chest. "What's going on, Mia? Talk to me." Mia took a deep breath before continuing. "I feel like I'm just going through the motions. I'm working hard every day, but it feels like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm overwhelmed by all the responsibilities, and I've been feeling disconnected from myself. I don't even know who I am anymore. I thought I had everything figured out, but now, I don't know." Sarah listened carefully, letting her sister speak without interrupting. She knew that Mia had always been the strong one, the one who seemed to have it all together. It broke Sarah's heart to hear her in such pain. But it also reminded her of how easy it was to lose sight of yourself when life kept piling on more and more demands. When Mia finally stopped talking, Sarah took a deep breath, thinking carefully about how to respond. She knew she couldn't just fix things for Mia, but she could offer some of the wisdom she had learned from her own journey. "Mia," Sarah began gently, "I've been there. I used to feel exactly the way you do, like I was just going through the motions, working harder and harder but getting more and more lost. But what I've learned is that it's okay to feel lost sometimes. It's part of the journey." Mia sniffled softly, her voice breaking. "But how do I get out of it? How do I find myself again?" Sarah paused, choosing her words carefully. "The first thing I did when I felt lost was to give myself permission to slow down. I realized that I didn't need to have all the answers right away, and I didn't need to be perfect. What I needed was space to breathe and to reconnect with myself. I started paying attention to what made me feel alive again, what I loved doing before all the responsibilities piled up. I gave myself time to rediscover my passions, to ask myself, what do I really want? And not just what does everyone else need from me?" There was a long pause on the other end of the line. Finally, Mia spoke, her voice quieter now. "I don't know if I even remember what makes me happy anymore." Sarah's heart ached for her sister. "I understand, Mia. But that's okay. Sometimes, we lose ourselves in the busyness of life, and it takes time to find our way back. Start small. What's one thing that makes you feel good, anything at all? Even if it's something tiny, like a walk in the park or listening to music that brings you peace. Once you begin to reconnect with those little moments of joy, you'll start to feel more like yourself again." Mia sniffled again, but this time there was a hint of hope in her voice. "You really think it's that simple?" Just starting with small things? I do, Sarah replied softly. It's not always about big, dramatic changes. It's about the small, quiet moments where you give yourself permission to just be. And remember, it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do everything alone. We all need people to lean on sometimes. Mia was silent for a moment, then said softly, "Thanks, Sarah. I think I just needed someone to remind me that it's okay to not have everything figured out." Sarah smiled to herself, feeling a deep sense of compassion for her sister. I'm always here for you, Mia. And remember, you don't need to do everything at once. Take it one step at a time. Advice: it's okay to feel lost. Sometimes, we lose sight of ourselves when life gets too busy. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're in a phase of growth. Give yourself permission to slow down. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Taking a step back to reconnect with yourself can help you find your way forward. Start small. Reconnect with what makes you feel alive. Even if it's something tiny like taking a walk, reading a book, or spending time with loved ones. These small moments can help you rediscover joy. Ask for help when you need it. You don't have to carry the weight of everything by yourself. It's okay to lean on others and take time for yourself. As the days went on, Mia took Sarah's advice to heart. She started taking small steps to reconnect with herself. She spent time alone in nature, rediscovered her love for painting, and slowly began to put boundaries in place at work. It wasn't easy, and there were times she stumbled, but she knew she was on the right path. And with each small step, she felt more like herself again. Sarah, too, continued her journey, knowing that life wasn't about having everything perfectly in place. It was about taking each day with intention, finding peace in the present, and trusting that every small step forward mattered. In the end, Sarah realized that the strength to face life's challenges didn't come from achieving more. It came from knowing when to slow down, when to ask for help, and most importantly, when to be kind to herself. Sarah's journey had been one of transformation, learning to embrace life not as a constant race for success, but as a journey of self-discovery, peace, and balance. She had found strength not in doing more, but in being true to herself, trusting her instincts, and taking life one step at a time. And as she shared that wisdom with those around her, whether through conversations with friends or the quiet moments of reflection she spent on her own, she learned that the true power lay not in what she achieved, but in how she chose to live each day. And so, the story continues, with every day offering a new opportunity to live with intention, to find joy in the small things, and to honor the strength that resides within us all. Let's enrich our vocabulary with some new words. 1. Transform. Asterisk definition. Asterisk to change completely. especially in a way that improves or makes something better. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah's journey was one of transformation. From feeling overwhelmed to finding peace. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk personal growth and change. Illustrating how Sarah's life improved as she learned to slow down and focus on what truly mattered. 2. Reconnect. Asterisk definition. Asterisk to establish or restore a connection, especially after a period of being disconnected. Asterisk example. Asterisk Mia needed to reconnect with herself to find happiness again. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk emotional healing and rediscovering one's passions or sense of self after feeling lost or overwhelmed. 3.
Astérisque astérisque intention astérisque astérisque.
Asterisk definition. Asterisk a plan or goal, especially one that reflects a person's purpose or direction. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah lived each day with intention, focusing on the things that brought her peace. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk living consciously and purposefully, not just going through the motions of daily life. 4. Boundaries. Asterisk definition. Asterisk limits set to protect oneself from being overwhelmed or taken advantage of. Asterisk example. Asterisk she learned to set boundaries at work to preserve her well-being. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk protecting emotional health and prioritizing self-care, which is essential for personal growth. 5. Overwhelm. Asterisk definition. Asterisk to be overcome by a strong feeling, like stress or pressure, that feels hard to manage. Asterisk example. Asterisk Mia was overwhelmed by the demands of her job and family life. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk the emotional state that often leads to burnout or feeling lost, and how it can be managed by slowing down. 6. Self-discovery. Asterisk definition. Asterisk the process of gaining insight into one's own character, values, and purpose. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah's journey was about self-discovery, learning to embrace who she truly was. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk finding peace and personal strength through understanding and accepting oneself. 7. Compassion. Asterisk definition. Asterisk sympathy and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah showed compassion for her sister, listening and offering support during a difficult time. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk empathy and offering help to those who are struggling, reinforcing the idea of mutual support. 8. Clarity. Asterisk definition. Asterisk clear understanding or insight. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah found clarity in her decision to slow down and focus on what truly mattered. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk gaining understanding of what is truly important in life, leading to more peaceful decisions. 9. Permission. Asterisk definition. Asterisk giving oneself or others the right or freedom to do something without guilt or hesitation. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah gave herself permission to slow down and take breaks when needed. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk the idea of self-compassion, allowing oneself to rest and not feel guilty about it. 10. Recharge. Asterisk definition. Asterisk to regain energy or strength, usually through rest or relaxation. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah took weekends to recharge and enjoy the simple things in life. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk the importance of rest and taking time to refresh emotionally and mentally. 11. Pressure. Asterisk definition. Asterisk the feeling of stress or expectation to meet certain demands. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah no longer let pressure dictate her choices after realizing the importance of her peace. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk the societal or self-imposed expectations that can lead to burnout or dissatisfaction. 12. Gratitude. Asterisk definition. Asterisk the feeling of thankfulness or appreciation. Asterisk example. Asterisk Sarah felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wisdom Mr. Tan had shared with her. Asterisk relates to. Asterisk appreciation for the lessons and support received during the process of self-growth. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care, and see you next time.